Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my predicted 11 for Manchester United's game against Newcastle at St James's Park. So I'm going to go with the 4-2-3-1 formation. In goal, David De Gea. David De Gea was in goal in Manchester United's 3-1 win against Fulham in the FA Cup quarter-final. That was before the international break. De Gea is Man United's #1 goalkeeper. De Gea recently rejected a contract offer. Man United offered him less than his £375,000 a week salary. De Gea is out of contract at the end of the season. His future is uncertain at the moment. David De Gea has been a long-serving player at the club. He's been at Man United for over 11 years. He's been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. He's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions, and he's won everything domestically at the football club. Manchester United got De Gea from Atletico Madrid back in 2011. Tom Heaton is not available. He's out for a few weeks. Won't be in goal for this game anyway. Jack Butland, he's an option, but he won't start. Man United have got Jack Butland on loan until the end of the season. Right back, I'm going to go with Diego Dalot. I think he'll come in for Wan-Bissaka. Dalot has really struggled since the World Cup. Revert back to earlier on in the season, he had a couple of injuries. Wan-Bissaka has actually started a lot of games this season because of the couple of the injuries Dalot had earlier on in the season, like I said, and Dalot struggled since the World Cup. But I think Dalot will start this game. The two centre-halves, I'm going to go with Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez. Varane has actually been out with a knock. Not so long ago, Varane announced his retirement from international football. Manchester United got Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. Lisandro Martinez has really made an impact since he come to Man United. He's got one goal for the club so far. That came in the 3-2 defeat to Arsenal at the Emirates. There's other options, there's Maguire, there's Lindelof, but they won't start because they're not our first choice centre-halves. Left back, I'm going to go with Luke Shaw. Like I updated you yesterday, Luke Shaw has agreed a 4-year contract to stay at Manchester United as a reward for his impressive season. Luke Shaw's previous deal was set to expire in 2024. So with Shaw agreeing this contract, he will serve over a decade at the club. He's nearly been at the club for a decade. Luke Shaw joined Man United back in 2014. Man United got him from Southampton for 30 million. Shaw's played over 200 games for the club. Shaw is injury prone, which is a concern. He is Man United's first choice left back still, despite the arrival of Terrell Malaysia. This season, in around 6 or 7 games, Luke Shaw's actually played as a centre-half, even though he's predominantly a left-back, and he's done well when he's been put at centre-half to his credit. The two centre midfielders, I'm going to go with Scott McTominay and Marcel Sabitzer. Scott McTominay is not one of Man United's first choice centre midfielders. He hasn't been first choice since the arrival of Casemiro and Christian Eriksen. But I do think McTominay will start this game. I'm expecting McTominay to leave the club in the summer because Man United are willing to listen to offers for him. Fred's also an option as well. You can still say he's one of our first choice centre midfielders, despite the arrivals of Casemiro and Christian Eriksen. Marcel Sabitzer, he's recently been out with a knock, but should be available for this game. Sabitzer scored his first goal for Man United in the 3-1 win against Fulham in the FA Cup quarter-final. It was a good flick from Sabitzer. His first goal for Man United meant a lot to him. Man United do have Sabitzer on loan until the end of the season. Earlier on in the season, Sabitzer's agent came out and said that Man United could sign Marcel Sabitzer on a permanent basis. We got Sabitzer on loan from Bayern Munich. Casemiro is not an option for this game because he's suspended. Christian Eriksen, he's still out with an ankle injury. In the number 10, I'm going to go with Bruno Fernandes. In the game against Fulham in the FA Cup quarter-final, Bruno Fernandes got a brace. He scored from the penalty. Man United got the penalty because of Williams' handball. And Fernandes scored late in stoppage time. Bruno Fernandes is enjoying a good season. He looks a far superior player without Ronaldo in the team. Revert back to when Ronaldo was at Man United, we were struggling to get the best out of Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes has been at Man United for around 2.5 years. Man United got him from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Van der Beek is obviously not an option for this game because he's out for the remainder of the season with a knee injury. He won't start anyway because he's a squad player. But Van der Beek can play at number 10 obviously when he is available. On the left wing, I'm going to go with Marcus Rashford. Erik ten Hag has said that Rashford is expected to be fit for this game. Rashford has been out with injury. Don't forget, he had to withdraw from the England squad. Rashford, of course, is enjoying a very good season to his standards. It's his best season as a United player. Rashford has got 26 goals in all competitions this season. Earlier on this year, Rashford won Premier League Player of the Month, and that was for the 3rd time this season. Man United are stepping up efforts to tie Marcus Rashford to a new contract. Rashford came out and said that it was complete nonsense about £500,000 a week contract demands. Rashford rejected a £400,000 a week deal from PSG. Rashford's current contract expires next year. Milanga is an option for the win, but he won't start this game. Milanga's lost his place in the team since Garnacho risen up the ranks and got into the senior squad. On the right wing, I'm going to go with Anthony. As you all know, Garnacho is not available. He's out with injury. Garnacho came off injured in Man United's 0-0 draw with Southampton. And Sancho, yeah, I think he's an option, but don't think he'll start this game. So I'm going to go with Anthony on the right wing. And up top, I'm going to go with Weghorst. Martial is expected to be available for this game, but I don't think Martial will start. I think he will come on as a substitute. So I think Weghorst will retain his place. Weghorst has scored like 2 goals for the club so far. He scored, obviously, in the 4-1 win against Real Betis at Old Trafford. That was his first Old Trafford goal, and he scored in the 3-0 win against Nottingham Forest in the Carabao Cup semi-final first leg. But yeah, we've got him on loan till the end of the season. It's very unlikely that we'll get him on a permanent basis. So that's how I think Manchester United could line up against Newcastle. Like I've said, Manchester United need to get back to winning ways in the league. Man United are winless in the last 2 league games. This will be a difficult game against Newcastle. You know, Newcastle are enjoying a very good season to the standards. They're like 5th in the Premier League. Newcastle, of course, won their last game against Nottingham Forest 2-1. The players Newcastle have got, they've got the likes of Callum Wilson, Ryan Fraser. They're both former Bournemouth players. Alain Saint-Maximin, he was recently out with injuries. One of the best players Newcastle have got. Anthony Gordon, Newcastle got him from Everton. He's been out with injury. Miguel Almiron, he's going to be missing this game. He's injured. He's going to miss the next 6 games, I heard. He's a big miss for Newcastle. Excuse me. Elliot Anderson they've got. Jacob Murphy. Alexander Isak. Newcastle got him from Real Sociedad. Matt Ritchie. Bruno Guimaraes is a good midfielder. Joseph Willock. Sean Longstaff, Jamal Lascelles, Jamal Lewis, Newcastle got him from Norwich, Manquillo, Harrison Ashby, Newcastle signed him from West Ham, Paul Dummett, Daniel Byrne, Newcastle signed him from Brighton, Kieran Trippier, good fullback, Newcastle signed him from Atletico Madrid. Matt Targett, Newcastle got him from Aston Villa. Seven Botman, he's been out with a virus. Newcastle got him from Lille. The goalkeepers Newcastle have got, they've obviously got Nick Pope, who I think's their first choice. Newcastle got him from Burnley. He's out at the moment. They got Dubravka. Karius, and they've got another goalkeeper as well. So they're a lot of the players that Newcastle have got. Eddie Howe is the Newcastle manager. I've got to give him a lot of credit. You know, he's doing a really good job as Newcastle manager. You know, look what he's done this season. Got them to the Carabao Cup final and got them up to like 5th in the league. Eddie Howe last year signed a long-term contract with Newcastle. Eddie Howe's been the Newcastle manager for around 16 months. He got appointed in as the Newcastle manager in November 2021. Before Newcastle, he managed Bournemouth. He was at Bournemouth for several years, and he had a spell with Burnley. Before Eddie Howe, Newcastle had Steve Bruce. Wasn't good enough, so Newcastle sacked him, and at one point they had Rafa Benitez. To be fair, Newcastle were very consistent under Rafa Benitez, but they he ended up resigning because he didn't get backed by the Newcastle board. Newcastle's owners are the Saudi Arabians. Since they bought the club, Newcastle are one of the richest clubs in the world. Before the Saudi Arabians, Newcastle had NEWCASTLE. He was Newcastle's owner for around 13 years. He got heavily criticised by Newcastle fans. And he ruined the club. And Newcastle fans were relieved when he sold the club in the end. But this will be the third time Man United will be playing Newcastle this season. Man United have played Newcastle twice already this season. Man United did beat them in the Carabao Cup final 2-0. That was Erik Ten Hag's first trophy as Man United manager was the Carabao Cup, and it was Man United's first trophy in 6 years. And Man United drew with Newcastle in the league earlier on in the season, 0-0. Last time Man United played at St James's Park, it was a 1-1 draw. But like I say, this is a must-win game for Man United. You know, we need to finish in that top 4 this season because we need Champions League for next season. As for Erik Ten Hag, you know my perceptions on him. I believe he's the right manager for Man United. I'm backing him. You know, he's the best manager we've had since Ferguson. You can see the progress he's made in his first season as United manager. Won the Carabao Cup. Got us to the FA Cup semi-finals, the Europa League quarter-finals, and got us up to 3rd in the league. If Ten Hag can win another trophy this season, get us in that top 4, I'd underline that and say that's a successful season, then build from that. You know, Erik Ten Hag, don't forget, won Premier League Manager of the Month back in February. He's almost a year now into his reign as Man United manager. He got appointed in as the Man United manager in April last year. He's under contract with the club till 2025. Erik Ten Hag is set to earn a new Man United contract regardless of the club's owner. So anyway guys, that's everything to update with. Drop your comments, likes, below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless.